At 7:30, we got our last 7:30 game, and after this, we only got 3 more games with playoff-eligible football teams. We have Virginia, who's 2-2. That's not the playoff-eligible team. Traveling to Duke, who's 3-1. Duke's favored with 2.5 points on ESPN3. Brennan Armstrong has gone 73 of 140, thrown for 848 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Paris Jones on the ground has had 50 carries for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Ketone Thompson has had 26 catches for 290 yards. Riley Leonard through the air has gone 72 of 101, thrown for 1,047 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jordan Waters on the ground has had 38 carries for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Jalen Calhoun has had 17 catches for 291 yards and a touchdown. Virginia is 40-33 against Duke all time. Last 7 games have gone to Virginia from 2015 to 2021. Last Duke victory was in 2014, so it has been a while since Duke has beaten the Cavaliers. And we'll go over what happened. Both these teams lost last week, and both lost in pretty heartbreaking fashion. Although, to be fair, Virginia's was really heartbreaking. Okay. At halftime, Virginia was down 16-0, right? And it looked like Syracuse was just going to roll them. But at the end of the half, Virginia was playing, like the second half, Virginia was playing better football than Syracuse. And they took a lead late in the fourth. The Cuse goes down, and they knock a field goal through the uprights. They have the lead. But Virginia has the ball. Field goal wins the game, if I remember correctly. I'm just trying to go off memory of what happened because I watched the end of this football game. But I watched a lot of football games. The Cavs drive down the football field, but it's 4th and 4. And instead of throwing it to the wide open guy in the slant, Brennan Armstrong tries to thread the needle for a deeper pass. Ends up not getting it, don't get the first down, and the game ends. The Cuse wins the game, and Virginia is sent home packing after being so close to upsetting Syracuse on the road. On the other hand, Duke's coming off a loss against Kansas, where they were 3-0 entering that game. They played Kansas pretty tight throughout, but it was pretty obvious that Kansas was the better football game throughout the majority of this game. I think what's going to be really interesting here is this game's on ESPN3, and it probably deserves to be on a better outlet than that. Honestly, has a chance of being pretty good. The Cavs are a solid enough football team. They've lost some heartbreakers here and there. They got crushed by Illinois, but the loss against Syracuse, it's disheartening for Virginia fans, and this would be a great chance to get a bounce-back victory against Duke, right? It honestly seems like that side of the ACC, outside of Pitt, is pretty wide open. UNC looks pretty solid, but obviously the game against Notre Dame showed that they are very beatable. Pitt's only lost us to a top 10 Tennessee team who, honestly, is really good, and Pitt played them really tight. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think the Cavs go on the road, though, and I think they pull off the upset against Duke, and they end Duke's slim playoff chances.